Hello and guten Tag. My name is Max, this is Make and Modify, and first a thing for my German viewers. Um die deutsche Grow-Community zu unterstützen, gibt es dieses Video erstmals auch mit einer deutschen Tonspur. Einfach unten auf das Zahnrad klicken und bei Audiospur die deutsche wählen. Keine KI-Übersetzung, einfach eine zweite Tonspur. Okay, back to the video. It is getting summer and that's garden time for me. But sometimes you want to automate something in the garden and sometimes that escalates and then you get into crop steering. And if you get to this point, you will need a soil moisture sensor at least. There's quite a variety out there, from analog to cloud-based and in all price points, but in this video I want to show you how you could use a commercial soil moisture sensor. I know that Andreas Spies made a great video on this topic, and I will link it down below, but this will be a quick and dirty variant of that. First of all, you will need a probe. For this purpose I got onto AliExpress and bought the cheapest RS485 sensor I could get. And in this case, it's also just a humidity and temperature sensor. No EC or pH or anything like that. EC would have made sense and I should have gotten this one, but it makes no sense to get the pH or NPK sensors with all metal tips, because then the pH will only be calculated and estimated basically and not be a real measurement. It's then just derived from the EC most of the time. Anyways, it should not matter too much which exact RS485 sensor you get. They, as far as I understood, all speak basically the same protocol. The next thing you will need is a microcontroller. And since I want to run ESPHome, it will be an ESP. Now, ESP32 or 8266, that depends on your personal preferences. I used to like the C3 boards for their small form factor, but since their antennas suck and I don't want to deal with it on every project, I decided to go with Wemos D1 Mini in the version 4 with ESPHome stuff for now. So now we have our sensor, we have our microcontroller, and now we have to get them to speak to each other. And since you can't just hook up a RS485 sensor to the ESP, I would suggest to get a converter board. In this case, I got a SP3485, but you can basically take any converter board that will output a 3.3 volt signal. So now that we have our three main components, we have to wire it up. And let's first start with the RS485 converter to the Wemos D1 Mini. The first thing that always makes sense to connect is ground. So we take the ground pin of the D1 Mini and connect it to the ground pin of our converter board. Then we also will need power. There we have to get the 3.3 volt pin from the D1 Mini to the top pin of this converter board. Now, next, we have 3 pins left to connect. We connect the transmit pin TX from the ESP to the receiving pin on the converter RX, which is the one below the 3.3 volt line, and below that is the transmit line from the converter, and we connect that to the receive line on the D1 Mini. Now we are almost done. Next we just need to connect the flow pin, and for this you could take any pin basically, but I will take pin 5, which is the one below the RX pin, and connect this over. So now we are almost done with connecting our stuff. Let's have a look at the sensor. For the sensor we need 5 volt. We can get this from the ESP, which will come directly from the power supply. Then we will need to connect ground to G, and on my sensor the B line of the RS485 is the green wire and the A line is the yellow wire. There you should have a look at your datasheet just to make sure. So, now let's go to the firmware. As explained before, I will use ESPHome for this, since it integrates nicely into Home Assistant, which I will use to control the valves for watering. Let's get into the config. So first of all, we have to define the board, which is a D1 Mini in our case. Then we have to disable the logger, so we set the board rate to 0, since otherwise we could have collisions with the logging of the board. Next up, the UART block. There we need to define the RX, the TX pin, the baud rate, stop bits, data bit, and the parity will be set to none. By the way, I will include an explanation of this code also in the GitHub that I will also link below. There you will also find the firmware. Next, the Modbus component. Here we layer Modbus on top of UART. The key setting here is the flow control pin. RS485 is a full duplex bus, meaning it can only send and receive at any given moment, not both. The ESPHome chip has driver enabled and receive pins, DE and RE, that switch it between those two modes. On the SparkFun breakout, DE and RE are tied together and exposed as a single RTS pin. ESPHome will automatically drive this pin high when it transmits and low when it wants to receive. Without this, the chip stays in one mode permanently and you either can't send or receive. So next is the Modbus controller. The Modbus controller sits on top of the Modbus component and handles the higher level protocol logic. Address 01 is the device address of our sensor, the factory default for most of these soil probes. If you have multiple sensors on the same bus, they each need a unique address. Update interval controls how often the ESP pulls the sensor. 30 seconds is a good balance for moisture sensors. The setup priority -10 just ensures this initialization after the UART and Modbus layer are ready. Now for the actual sensor reading. Each sensor maps to a specific Modbus holding register on the device. The datasheet tells us that 0000 is temperature, and with 1 at the end it's humidity, and EC would then be 2 at the end. For the temperature we use value type S_word. That's a signed 16-bit integer because temperatures can go negative. Humidity uses U-words as unsigned 16-bit integers since they are always positive, and the same also goes for the EC. Both values are sent to the 10th of the unit, so the raw value of 201 means 20.1 degrees centigrade. The multiplier 01 filter handles that conversion automatically. The main takeaways are to disable UART logging, to not collide with using the RX and TX pin. We need to set flow control because it's half duplex RS485, so we need it. You will need to check the datasheet for the baud rate and the address of your values, but you could for now assume that they are the same as for my sensor. S and U word matter. Use signed for anything that can go negative, like temperature. Everything else is unsigned. And that's already it. Compile it, upload it to the ESP, and try your probe. One thing to be aware of, these probes were calibrated or designed for soil. If you, like me, use them in cocoa, you will never reach 100% because it only tells you the absolute moisture in the soil. So basically for me, I have a cocoa perlite mix, which then results in a maximum saturation of the media. For me it was something around 40%. So this will be my max value. Everything above that will cause drain, and the complete dry bag should also not be to 0 but to something like 30 for me. If you use something like rock wool cubes, like many do, then you can stick them in the side. If you like me and use cocoa with perlite, I just buried it halfway. That is the preferred option by the datasheet, by the way. So you want to have minimum gap. so burying it is the easiest way to ensure this. And that's really it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions, ask them in the comments. I put all the stuff on GitHub so you can copy it. And yeah, that's it for this video. Have a nice time in your garden, and I wish you all good weather and nice day.